Igbo, in the politics of Nigeria, your problem is not Britain. Your problem is not other Nigerians. Your problem is your failure to learn from your ancestors. Anyị ga-akpata bụ citizenship Nigeria ndị Igbo na politics ndị Igbo na-eme na Nigeria, or politics ofeke, or citizenship ofeke. Anya ndị Igbo ha dịkwa n'iwu Nigeria. What is the relationship between ndị Igbo and the laws, constitution, citizenship, courts in Nigeria?
O nwere etu ndị Igbo be anyị si ekwu okwu, a sị na ndị bụ egbe n'iru ọgụ, mmiri mara egbe, ndị ji mma wee nọrọ n'iru ọgụ.
Wow.
Ọnya bụ ife bụ alịrị na-egbu Igbo taa. Ịbịa na ana Igbo oge gboo, onye siri ike ara ebi n'oke obodo n'obodo.
Okay.
Onye siri ike na-ebi n'oke obodo n'obodo. Maka na onye ka eji asị na mmadụ bụ ochendo.
Okay.
Ochendo abụrụ na ịbụ onye isi ụka. Onye siri ike ya ama mgbe o tie mkpụkpọ ma o nwee ife mebelenụ, onye ya eme ka ndị nọ n'ụlọ marụ.
Obi n'oke obodo.
Ọ bụ na isiri ike ime anwa ebe a tọrọva bụ ndị mmadụ. So na onye abụgodu local politics etu anyị si bido. Mmadụ ịtọ na-achị obodo n'ala Igbo.
Mmadụ ịtọ.
Mmadụ ịtọ.
Gwa maka ya.
Ọzọ bụ eze.
Eze.
Ọzọ bụ Ochiagha.
Ochiagha.
Ọzọ bụ Dibia.
Dibia. Wow. Eze bụ na onye isi obodo.
Ya bụ onye wepụtara ya na ndị nze, ndị ichie, ndị nze na-achị obodo. Ndị ichie na-achị obodo.
More like first among equals. Then onye nke abụọ
bụ Ochiagha.
Ochiagha. Okay. Kedu the qualities onye isi ike na Igbo?
Ofu ka bụ na ịma anụ ofu nwaanyị. Maka enidiri mmadụ, enidiri population. Ị ga-akwa nnukwu ngwuru. And then bụrụ onye na-akọta ugbo, bụrụkwa onye na-anabata ndị mmadụ.
Okay. So
ya na-esi oriri.
Okay. So ị ga-adị wealthy.
Iwu nụ.
Then ị ga-abụkwa onye na-anabata ndị mmadụ si oriri.
Onye abụ Ochiagha. Maka na ikwụsị ya obodo ekwe.
Okay.
Mana the most strategic bụ Dibia.
Dibia.
Maka Dibia ka a na-eji ajụ ase. Ife ọya aga.
Okay.
Ma ọ na ọma aga.
Okay.
Obodo a na-eme ife na ajeri jụ ase.
Okay.
So mmadụ ịtọ a na-achị obodo.
So without consulting the divine, ndị Igbo adịghị eme anything.
Maka na ọ ya agwa sị na o nwere mbọsị obodo ji eme ụfọdụ ihe. Enwere obodo mbọsị dị etu asịghị na ara enyi mmadụ.
Okay.
Mbọsị ya. Enwere ụbọchị dị etu asịghị na ejiri eje akpọta nwaanyị.
Okay.
Ife niile abụcha ihe dị n'ala Igbo wee batazie modern politics nke ekwero ndị Igbo eme. Ọ fịara anyị nnukwu arụ. O kwere anyị eme because na modern politics na Igbo chefuziri ka anyị si arọ mmadụ. Anyị na-asị na mmadụ bụ okwuru ọra. Onye ya eje nọchi anya mmadụ. Enwere onye Chukwu na-enye ife, onwe mmụta, na-echeta ife, na-asọpụrụ ndị mbụ na ndị egede. Nwere ike ije mee presentment of the issues. A na-eje bee kpọọ ya si anya jebe okwu ya rapụ ihe gbasanyere ịkọ ugbo n'obodo ya kọrọ ya ugbo.
Wow. So, and I wanted to know,
Igbos don't believe in elective democracy for their kingship because that type of position are occupied by those who have been able to exhibit extraordinary prowess to dominate the environment. They don't share power. The plebeians have no power to nominate them or come and vote. They rule for life. And the dynasty is recognized based on the gang he's been able to assemble as the people that will always enthrone or find a replacement.
Okay, so abịa na
they-
Igbo, kedu ndị ọ na just na-ekwu ya n'Igbo kịta? Kedu the kind of people?
Ndị Igbo enwero mgbe anyị na-eji eme demokrasi wee nweta igwe.
Igwe.
Ife niile abụ ife obodo ji ghasa.
Ọ ndị nze na ọzọ ka kedu ndị na-agbakọ na West Onye Abeze?
Ịbịa dịka ndị agbata obi anyị ụfọdụ anaghị akpọ ya na-enwe ndị ha na eze dị nwere obodo. Ọ ndị a bụ ndị na-anọrụ kwuo ka ha ga-esi na-ekenye bụ anya efi among themselves, excluding the weaklings in the community. So ndị Igbo anyị abụbụrụ ndị na-echibe eze, anyị na-enwe ndị na-adominate obodo.
Okay.
Oge anyị na-etolite enwere ndị na-eyi obodo egwu. Anyị na-anụba mgbe ha sị Edofu Obosi ijekwa n'ebe ijekwa ifuo. So nwa Iboko n'akụkụ Abakaliki ndị tax bụ ebe o welfa. So ọ ụdị ọchịagha anụnwa ka ị yabịa megide obodo asị gị ka anyị zụbazie afịa beghị udo dị.
Okay. So that is the way those kind of leadership emerge in Igbo land.
Mana ọchịagha bụ onye nwere ike na-eme ife siri ike. Ọchịagha bụ onye na-apụta mgba. O nwere ndị otu. Ọchịagha bụ ndị nwere ike anyị na-asị na enwere agada gbachiri ụzọ gbachie ọhịa.
Agada gbachiri ụzọ gbachie ọhịa.
Maka ịgbachi ụzọ esi ọfịa na
Ị ga-agbachi
ị na-agbachi ditu. Onye si na ya na-aza agada gbachiri ụzọ mana ọ mara the full. Ị ga-agbachi ụzọ gbachie ọhịa. So nobody will escape. Igbo amakakwa nọ n'afọzi mmadụ.
So such people that are able to control fully
the territory, batabe dọkpụrụ ada si na ya anụ ịgbaba egwu.
By force.
Maka na enweghị ife ihe emenwe ọha ka ọ na-emegide abụrụfụ ọchịagha asịzie biko na eze asịzie na ihe mere bụ na onye ya na-anọzobe maka na eze achọrọ onye ya anụso ọgụ. Abụrụzie ọchịagha. Mana the chief priest, the Dibia, is the person who can look, and mainly they are traditional medicine people. They used to give medication, they cure illnesses, and they don't have signboard. That's one remarkable thing about them. Is those they have been able to cure, or those that they have been able to maim, that will now be their CV. If you are looking for a native doctor, you don't look for a signboard. You look for those he has killed or those he has saved. So these are the criteria. So Igbos have never been weaklings. They don't recognize a weak man. So it's unfortunate that Christianity have come and watered down some of our culture. The doctrine of constituency interest is a doctrine that will enable any person who wants to come into the line of political leadership must satisfy, because the recruitment process starts from there.
Okay.
So we lost that recruitment link.
What you're saying is that there's a disconnect between political actors and constituency interests.
Yes. So one of the greatest problems we have now is that if you want to seek power, the people who are in a position to mobilize to have a constituency will be aloof and be waiting for you to come and consult them.
You see?
Instead of seizing
the
opportunity for us to...
So what you're saying is that those who are controlling our constituency, the Ochiagha and Dibia, instead of understanding, not their job, to get up.
To bring the doctrine upon which the politics is based. What is the interest? Are you going there to become a minister? Or are you going there to work with the program that will uplift and reduce poverty in your constituency. The modern politics in Nigeria was started by Azikiwe. You remember when Azikiwe returned, he did not come to settle down in Enugu. The first thing he did was to look for people that will enable us, people that can help him pursue his vision. Badiwe, one for reason, some of the people in Onitsha, a piano cake, people like Chukura, and he was able to align himself with the Mbadiwes. Okay. And he was able to gather some of those young people like Akweke Nwaforizu, so that they can go to America and get education and come back. These were the people that are emboldened. They were the foundation. So this was how he's been able to assemble those people. But one basic thing they lacked was that they forgot constituency interest.
They forgot constituency interest.
And that is why we have all been going around and saying that when Igbo man is in power, he doesn't help anybody. Mm-hmm. So it happened when we had the opportunity of the NPN and NPP trying to work together, which was against the philosophy of the military that gave power. Because that was, NPP was an Igbo-based machine, and NPN was Northern-based machine. But the military hierarchy did not want the Igbos to partake in the new Nigeria they were creating. So Zig and the leadership of NPN, Makama Bida and the rest of them, were more interested in offices
instead of constituency. Oh my God.
So they now had people becoming speaker, the great man later, Umezu, without a program.
Wow.
We had speaker. We had people who were in the parliament. We had ministers, but no constituency interest.
There's no fusion.
So if they had their own agenda, they would have placed that agenda as a program in the political merger they were able to create. Because we lost the web of Igbo leadership.
Wow.
That web is the three people that control the community.
Yes.
Sits down, sets the agenda.
And then determine the person who will carry it.
If they will bring you out, that is the godfatherism.
Yes.
Not godfather to go and give account to one plebeian somewhere who is the godfather.
Wow.
So this is one basic thing that we need to re-engineer.
Wow. Now, please, this is so important. At the base, which is the constituency,
is not the office. Is the program which you want to achieve with the office.
Okay.
We had men every time. In your administration with Jonathan, I will also hit you.
Go ahead.
Igbos were the people in the kitchen cabinet.
Yes.
No program. They were more interested in secretary to government, minister of finance, minister of this, minister of this, but what is in there for the people? So there was nothing for the people. What is the agenda that government will execute? And then it will favor you. Not Niger Bridge. Niger Bridge did not. It's causing erosion. If they had agreed to put rail, it would have become an Igbo agenda.
Okay, so because this is very important. I mean, myself as a person who occurred, I occurred. Because that's the way I would put it. I have no link with any constituency. I had no link. with any constituency at all.
That's why God is using you.
Yeah, because when I sit back and I think about it, there was nothing. I was just a young man drilling through the Niger Delta, trying to solve problems there. And I met Goodluck Jonathan as deputy governor. He became governor, we became friends. And from there, I saw myself at the federation. And then when we were getting to the federation, the Igbo issues started coming up. Who would tell me, Igbo? I was wondering, what do they want me to do? So it is important. This issue you've raised now hits me hard in the sense that there was no constituency.
Nothing for... When you look at the Ohaneze today, as it's presently constituted, there's no focus. What is the agenda? How do you recruit men and women who will look at the tripod of the Igbo selection process, the Ochiagha, the Igbo, and the Dibia, of making sure that those who will represent our precincts will go and pursue the agenda, not necessarily to go and
pursue personal
and become minister and go and amass wealth. That is one thing that is lacking.
The relationship between, because you harped on it, that instead of those custodians of the constituency throwing up a person, they sit back
and want to be consulted.
So now, can you explore that? Can you explore that part?
You go and, for example, some of these rich brothers we have, I look at them as Ofeke. Because Ofeke is the defining issue.
Yes.
When you see a good player, you have a responsibility to make sure that he gets into a club.
Yeah. Yes.
If you have emerged as a rich man in your community, you must put yourself in the spectrum of either the Ochiagha, the Igbo, and the Dibia.
So those three spaces
you have to come in as one. You are not going to Igbos don't have philanthropists. It's not.
I want you to underline this point very well.
Giving rice and giving yam to people. No.
It means nothing.
No. You have to be interested in who succeeds you.
Yes.
You have to be interested in the culture dynamics of the community, that it remains unadulterated.
Yes.
How do you do that?
My dear viewers, after listening to Dr. Ifeanyichukwu Okonkwo on one note, let us now go to the comment section and discuss the following takeaways he has given to us. 1. Politics is a fundamental and serious matter of survival in traditional Igbo society. Igbo ancestors never played with their politics. 2. In traditional Igbo society, politics is not for everybody. Politics is reserved for the best in the Igbo society and only applied in the pursuit of the common good, never for individual interest. Igbo politics is democratic, but not elective. Men and women rise to power through absolute merit, bestowed by publicly transparent consensus. Political leadership in Igbo society is built around 3 positions: Dibia, Ochiagha, and Eze. The Dibia is a theodozak, a ritually sanctioned prophetic authority that interprets divine and cosmological truth to guide leadership and collective action. The Dibia upholds social prosperity and moral order and restrains autocratic or illegitimate power. He does not exercise direct political or military rule, but the Dibia must always be consulted. Ochiagha is a Eudozak, a leader whose authority rests on the convergence of economic capacity, military competence, and explicit public approval. His authority is based on the Igbo principle that power is valid only when socially sanctioned. The Ochiagha may not initiate political action, but he has to agree for it to go forward. Eze is a proto-hegemon, a respected leader selected from among titled elders who stands at the first among Igbos. He helps to unify other leaders, preserve tradition and continuity while offering moral guidance without ruling by force or holding executive power. It is the essence that initiates and approves political action. Dr. Ifeanyichukwu insists that since Igbo politics under the influence of Christianity and British domination lost the dynamics of the tripod of Dibia, Ochiagha, and Eze, the Igbo have never found their bearing in politics. Igbo politics have been drowning in an era of ofeke, personal interest, and visionless display of wealth and power. Dr. Ifeanyichukwu calls on Ndi Igbo to do the following. 1. Restore a politics where power serves the people. Politics where morality restrains power. Politics where unity sustains society. He calls on Ndi Igbo to insist that no authority is legitimate without public approval, and no leadership is worthy unless it serves the common good. He reminds Ndi Igbo that strength without consent is not leadership. Wealth without service is not authority. Titles without accountability are empty. From us at Ndi Igbo Viva, the digital palace of a global Igbo spirit, we urge you to demand leaders who lead with the people, leaders who accept moral restraint and build unity, not leaders who chase personal power. So go to the comment section, give your opinions, and send questions on how Ndi Igbo can go back to our politics. Join us to discuss the how in our next episode with Dr. Ifeanyichukwu Okonkwo. Never forget to call upon the millions of Igbos worldwide to come and drink from this fountain of Igbo wisdom. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's go to 100,000 views and 10,000 subscribers. See you in our next episode.